All right, everybody, welcome to I think it's week 6 of the Whiskey Gingers podcast. I can't remember because this is a podcast centered around whiskey, and if I could remember, then I would just be from.
Hey Brandon, I don't know if you can hear me, but it's breaking up a little bit on my end.
There we go. All right,
man, that's
thanks for holding down the fort.
It's actually the first.
I think everyone watching just got to look at me stare into the camera confused for a few minutes there.
I know we've been getting texts.
We were testing you to see how you would do in a life or death situation. You passed with flying colors.
That's
right.
Great. Pass
So the intro is totally shot at this point. We're back for week 6. This week we have one of Chris's personal favorites, Slane Irish whiskey. We're back on the Irish whiskey bandwagon after last year we did last year. I'm so fucked up today. Last week we did a peanut butter whiskey. Have you had, and what do you feel about the new flavored whiskey trend?
As far as peanut butter whiskey goes, I'm not a huge fan of it. I just think I don't like the artificial type peanut butter taste. But like I've had maple whiskey and honey whiskey, and I think that whiskey goes really well with those sort of sweeter flavors. It reminds me of whiskey cocktails, so I like it already.
Yeah, that was kind of our opinion too. Like,
that's a fair point.
It was great as a mixer. After a glass, you're already like, yeah, I'm done with this. Like the novelty wears off really fast, and the hangover starts even faster.
Well, all that sugar definitely can't be good for a hangover.
No, not at all. Or my dental records. Chris is the resident expert on Slane. So I didn't do any research today on what to expect from this bottle. So I'm going to turn it over to him for that portion.
Resident expert is a very loose term there. But yes, I've been drinking this for probably, 2 years now as kind of like my just go-to. If I see it on a shelf in a liquor store, I'll pick it up. I think it's got a really good flavor to it. It's super affordable. It's like $29.99 or less at certain liquor stores. But I think it gives you a lot of bang for your buck in the sense that you can just pour this over ice or neat in a glass, and you can enjoy it just as much as a higher end whiskey, which I think is impressive.
That's the key. Are you having yours neat or on the rocks either?
Yeah, I'm drinking my neat today.
Okay, so is Chris, and then I have the rocks.
Good man, Ethan.
I switch back and forth. I used to be rocks. I used to be rocks all the time, and I've honestly have started to get into drinking it neat lately.
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, either way, there's like some scientific proof back there. I'm sure that putting a little bit of ice or like a little bit of water in it is supposed to make it better for the whiskey. But frankly, I just don't care.
Yeah, I was always under the impression that whiskey was better slightly watered down, but that might just be me.
I will put it in the fridge and then drink it.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
That's a prime way to drink a glass of whiskey, I think.
So they're rocking with this room temperature and neat.
Well, I'm going to crack this open here, and we have to do the ASMR part of this where we get a nice cracking sound or a nice cork pull sound.
You're You're welcome, you freaks.
Yeah, we have to appeal to that small percentage of people that actually enjoy that.
I'll take my money any way I can get it.
Oh, are we making money off this now?
One day, maybe.
It's news to me.
While you guys are pouring that, I just want to let our listeners know that if you like Slane or look for something where you can take a whiskey and make some other drinks with
Nice.
it, they do have a few drink recipes on their website, like an espresso martini. They have they call it the River Bone Fizz, a cold brew whiskey, and a few other cocktails that you can actually make, which sound pretty good to me, to be honest. So for all those listeners out there.
Agreed. Thank you very much.
I think as long as we're legalizing like weed in the workplace, I think you should be able to have an Irish coffee as your morning coffee in corporate America. But that's just me.
Hey, whatever floats your boat, I suppose.
Yeah. All right. Here's to you, gentlemen.
Hey, here's to you.
That is really good.
Yes. I think it is perfectly flavored for any occasion. And like I said, for the price, you really can't beat it.
Yeah, and it has that it tastes like a real whiskey. It has enough burn to where I know I'm not drinking something that's like, built for like non-whiskey drinkers. Like it tastes like if you appreciate whiskey, you'll enjoy it, but it's also not so hardcore to the point where it's like, you need to chase it, God forbid, or like, you need the ice. Yeah, I love ice in my whiskey. I could do that without it and be just fine. You don't need to cut that at all.
It's got a very sweet flavor to it, which I, like is very common in the Irish whiskeys. But I think the balance of sweet and the balance of like the actual whiskey taste does really well in this option.
Yeah, for sure. And then we're gonna hear from the southerner over there in central Pennsylvania,
the bourbon man himself.
Yeah, so today I'm drinking Bullet bourbon. For me, this is the first whiskey that I ever really daily drank. Just had a glass of before I went to bed at night. The way I sort of came across it is because I had just turned 21 and I already knew I liked whiskey, but I really wanted to be a little bit of a whiskey snob. So I started going online and seeing all the different reviews. And this was the one that was, I tried a few different ones, and this is the one I liked the best. Tried this Old Forester and Buffalo Trace, and this is what I like the best. And it's in my price range, so I've stuck with it.
Yeah, I mean, I can vouch. I mean, there were times where Ethan and I would be having to do something, and rather than eat or whatever before doing it, it's like, oh, I got a couple bucks. I got just enough for a bottle of a Bullet. It's Thursday. Try to make a run to the store. So everyone's grabbing rice, pancakes, groceries, but that money went pretty much straight to Bullet for the weekend to follow.
It is essential.
It is, absolutely. Yeah. I couldn't.
For sanity and just for pure enjoyment.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more.
It makes me think of something, and I want to get your guys' opinion as well. This is totally off topic on any structure of what we were going to do. But when you're talking about, being freshly 21 and trying out, some different whiskeys and everything, do you guys remember what your first opinion on trying whiskey straight was? I remember for me personally, I'll go first. I'll let you guys go after. But I mean, for me, I remember the first few times, I'd say for quite a bit, when you're trying to do whiskey, neat or over the rocks, it takes a good amount of time for you to really build up that appreciation where you're like, man, this is just not straight fire in my throat every single time. But I don't know how you guys feel. I don't know if you want to weigh in on that, Ethan, how your experience was.
I remember, I feel like there's a way to sip it. There's a way to sip whiskey straight, and you don't realize that at first. And you kind of you drink it almost like a beer, and it just doesn't work that way. You're kind of standing there in pain, but you really want to be able to do it. But once you figure it out, it is great. And I can commiserate with you a little bit on the having to work your way up to appreciating it, because for a while I was doing it because I really wanted to be able to.
Yeah, it's like the manliest drink possible. Once you've conquered beer and you're like, all right, yeah, I drink beer. And then it's like, all right, whiskey is like a classy version of that same beer guy. My family is not a whiskey family, so the only thing we had on hand when I wanted to try it was Seagram 7.
Oh God!
Let me tell you, that set me back about a year. I didn't try whiskey again until probably a freshman year of college.
That is not a hey. I don't even want to shoot Seagram 7.
It was. I was sitting there like gritting my teeth, like, no, dude, I love whiskey, and people could see my eyes like tearing up.
Tears in your eyes flooding down your cheeks.
Yeah, I'm like pretend going to the bathroom every 2 minutes to like wash it down, to, like tell people I didn't chase. So no, I had to pee again for like the 6th time in the last 10 minutes.
He's secretly chugging Listerine to try and get a slightly less alcohol burn flavor out of it.
That makes it worse. That's like putting water on a grease fire.
I'm just saying that Listerine probably burns less than Seagram 7.
Oh yeah, it's like 2% alcohol. Allegedly, you can get drunk on mouthwash. Not that I've done it, but
Yeah, you probably destroy the inside of your stomach as well.
yeah,
But either way.
that and cough medicine if you really get jammed up. I did know a guy who got drunk on cooking wine.
Oh, God. That sounds
Not
like
that
a
it's much cheaper than wine.
Like a big like jug of Marsala type, like
Yeah.
cooking wine with that. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that's what we had handy, and it was after I think we were juniors in high school, and it was after like a big game, and people were throwing a party, but we hadn't considered like, okay, we don't have booze, and we just found Marsala wine and white wine, like cooking white wine. It was like,
Right.
it's alcohol. It's either this or rubbing.
You have an excuse
Wow.
back then. Yeah, it's
Desperate times.
Yeah.
Well, for very desperate measures.
While we're talking about judgy liquors, is there now that we all make a little bit of money, or I mean, I know Ethan, you're in law school, but we'll make a little bit of money. What's
Okay.
like if you go to someone's house and you're like, oh hey, do you have any whiskey? What's the brand that they offer you where you go, oh, they're trash?
That's probably the most judgmental thing that we've done so far. I love it.
It's tough, but if I know and I think this is how you can tell they don't drink whiskey too, because if
Mhm.
all they have is Jack and Jim,
Yeah.
they don't drink whiskey, and you already know from there that you're not going to get anything good.
What's yours?
I tend to agree with both of those. I think that's really true. This one sounds horrible, but like I feel like some people really like Hennessy, and I think
Oh,
I think that
No.
Hennessy is like really not great at all. And the worst
Yeah.
part about Hennessy is it's not that cheap either.
No.
So like not only is it not a great whiskey, but it's also not cheap. So like if
Yeah.
somebody offered that to me, I'd be like, I don't think that you're not spending good money on it. I just think that you don't have good taste in whiskey.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, Hennessy, I don't even think of Hennessy in the context of like the whiskeys that we drink. I know it is one.
It is, yeah.
But just socially and like pop culturally, that's just not
It'd be like having
niche
cognac.
it feels. Yeah, exactly. For me, it was big a while ago. It was I think it was called like Smoky or Old or whatever one Florida Georgia Line came out with.
Old Smoky.
Is that theirs?
Yeah.
I think
Not
so, yeah.
great. Yeah, not a fan. I was a big Florida Georgia Line fan at the time. I've since figured life out, and I bought it, and I was severely disappointed.
I just cleared out the bar today to make room for stuff and to organize everything, and I just found 2 bottles, like really old bottles that I had laying around from a couple of years ago of a Old Smoky habanero whiskey,
And they're
And-
half full for a reason.
yeah, and a salty caramel one. Like it's not good. I mean, it was one of those things where people were like, "Let me just take a bunch of flavors and jam them into a whiskey."
That is not the whiskey that they made.
Which one is it? It's something
Old Camp.
Old Camp.
Old Camp.
Old Camp. That's what it was. Not
Either way,
great.
not great.
I wasn't a fan. But yeah, but I agree with Ethan where it's like if you bring me Jack, I'm assuming you have that. You don't drink it yourself. You have it in case company comes over.
Somebody
Yeah.
gifted this to you.
You feel like
no, you don't gift somebody Jack
Well,
Daniels.
you feel you have a home,
Like, come on.
if you have a home bar and you feel like you need to put a whiskey and a bourbon on it, it's probably going to be Jack and Jim, and maybe there might be a bottle of Jameson there if you've got some Irish guys in your family.
See, the Jameson, that's fine. That to me,
Jameson's-
that's the
Jameson's-
baseline of gifting whiskey.
Jameson's good. Jameson's really good, but those are like for me the
It's a
big 3
buy-in.
that
Yeah.
everyone knows. Everyone knows those 3. Even if you don't drink it, you know what those are.
And if you get like a little bit more appreciation for it, instead of having like, if you wanted to get like a cheaper bourbon that you want to have that's pretty good, just get like an Evan Williams to keep in the house. Like
Yeah.
that is an extremely affordable bottle of bourbon.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're just getting into it, to your point, you would put like, Jack or Jim or something on. But really having like an Evan Williams bottle would just immediately expand your bar significantly.
Yes.
For sure.
And it would make you look a lot classier just by doing that simple thing. It's like a
Yeah.
$25 bottle of whiskey. So it's really not even expensive at all.
No, it's about the appearance.
So, So I think what we should probably do is do
Oh,
our
yeah.
ranking.
I'm losing track of time. Yeah, you're right.
Do our ranking for these and then move on to some topics because I want to hear from Ethan a bit more as well. I want his opinions on some stuff tonight.
All right. So far, and if I'm missing any, let me know. I believe we've done Wiggle.
Yes.
We've done what was the French one?
Bastille.
Bastille. We did what was it was like a real small batch.
The really rare one that my cousin gave me, which I don't even remember the name. It was like a Jewish whiskey that we'll never remember the name of ever.
Okay, so then we did Bastille, the Jewish whiskey. Then we did. That brings us to that. What was that gray bottle? That was real fancy.
Oh yeah, that
Would
was.
you like to just me to tell you what it was?
Yeah, can you?
Yeah,
just
that'd be a
tell us
lot
what it
easier,
is?
actually.
We're getting too many now. I think after we got
I started
past
writing these
3, it was
down.
too many for us to remember.
Yeah.
It's fine. So yeah, you were correct. So you
Wiggle, by the way, I bought with Ethan.
you did a yeah. So Wiggle was the first one, right?
Yes,
Okay. So then you did a Writer's Tears.
that's what it was.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. The Jewish one was a Kelahaf Evan Shilas.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yep. I'll try the Hebrew for you guys. You did
Shout
Writer's
out.
Tears. After that, then you did the Sheepdog peanut butter whiskey last week, and then it was the Grey Coast whiskey last week. You
We did 2 for
both of those last week,
Okay.
and now you're on the Slane.
Okay. Cool.
perfect. I think we need to start a Google Doc. And
Yeah.
put our rankings because I feel like they're going to change
I'm on
every
it.
week.
Okay. So I know a lot of those were kind of a little bit more obscure. Like of that list, how many of you heard of or had?
I'd say the only one that I've had on that list is Wiggle. Like you said, you said you got it with me, but that's the only one I've known on that list. It's an interesting list. I
think we tried to make it obscure.
Yeah, we tried to hit a little bit of everything.
It's
All right.
been a wild ride, but we've gotten back to our heritage here and
Yeah.
gone to some Irish whiskey land for the last little bit. I feel like we're going to have to play it fair and
We'll have to mix it up again.
do something different next week.
Yeah. So who do you have at 5? 6.
We've had
We've had 6,
seven,
right?
7, I think, actually.
Did
Because
do
we did
another?
2 1 week.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So we've done 7 of them. I still think I'll stand to it. I think Bastille is at the bottom for me.
Okay.
100%. Still.
Bastille, yeah. Bastille was bad. I kind of have Sheepdog at the bottom
Oh yeah. it's
just
true.
because they didn't try to
Yeah.
be a real whiskey.
I still think the flavor that was more enjoyable
Oh, well,
than
yeah.
Bastille to me.
Yeah. So
So-
either so I'll go Sheepdog last. You can go Bastille last. 6 is where it's going to be one or the other for me. So for me, Bastille 6. For you, Sheepdog is
Yep.
6. And then 5 is where it starts to get into like all of this was at least pretty good.
Yeah, I would agree. I think our bottom of the barrel is retained for the bottom 2.
Yeah. For me, 5 I think would be probably the Jewish wine, the Jewish whiskey.
Mhm. Wine, whiskey, same thing.
Wine, yeah, whatever. Either one. Yeah.
I think I have to do it in my. I think I have to do favorite to not favorite for me, and I'm just going to power through them. I think,
Okay.
because I think it'll be easier for me to think that way.
Okay.
Writer's Tears,
Yeah.
I think is my number 1 still. I really like the Writer's Tears a lot. And then second, I would probably say that I'm going to go with, believe it or not, Wiggle. I think Wiggle had a really good flavor profile to it. Even though it was a bourbon, that's not really like always my go-to. I think it was really good.
Yeah.
And then I would say Slane. Then I would probably say from there, the Grey Coast. And then, believe it or not, I would put I guess number 5 for me then would be the bottle I got from my cousin, the Jewish one. It's good, but it's a lot, and you can only really drink one glass of it. And, like the flavor is great, but I mean, it really puts some hair on your freaking chest. So I'm not drinking that all the time. So I'm not going to put it that high up there. I'd rather rank mine based on flavor and also stuff that I would drink more frequently.
Yeah, that was really cool to do because it was an extremely small batch.
It was number 29 out of 1 something.
Yeah,
120 or something.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was a smaller batch than we'll ever get our hands on. But as far as taste goes, you're right. It wasn't like the most enjoyable thing to drink.
It's iconic. That's about it.
It is. Yeah, mine's going to be eerily similar. For me, Writer's Tears at the top. It's like one of the better whiskeys I've had in general.
Yeah.
Which was it took a lot to beat out Wiggle because I really enjoyed Wiggle. And just I was a little bit more personal, having like visited and like seeing all the awards and stuff. Like they're super accomplished. So I go Wiggled number 2, Slane 3, and then what was it? Grey Coast 4, and then Jewish 1 and 5.
I think we're the same, except
Pretty
for our
much.
last two.
Yeah, I just flip flop those.
Yeah. Do you have a top 5 for you, Ethan?
The top 5 that I've tried.
Yeah.
I think so. I've gotten the chance to have Dad's Hat, which I really like. That's probably the best one I've had. Bullet's easily second for me. I could still drink a glass of Bullet every day.
Yeah.
I did get that Buffalo Trace. I put that at 3. These are all bourbons.
Yeah.
4 Bushmills. I really like Bushmills.
I know you do.
I don't know what it is about that stuff, but it drives me nuts. And then 5 is Makers. Makers is always a safe one.
It's a pretty good list. Pretty good list. You got to stick to what you like. I mean, like if you like bourbons, you like bourbons. We like Irish whiskeys. So I think
Bushmill's an Irish whiskey, and that is one I'm going to bring in at some point.
I think it stands the testament that we picked Wiggle as our number 2, even though we really aren't that big into bourbon, because it really showcases how good Wiggle actually is.
I like Wiggle a lot. If I had to put 6, I'd put Wiggle down. I'd put Wiggle in there, definitely.
Yeah, it would sneak in.
Yeah,
I haven't had their. I actually haven't had except for 1 glass of their just straight bourbon. What I got was in a barrel that used to have maple syrup in it, which is actually really interesting flavor, but not something for all the time. But it was good.
I think Wiggle's actually one of 2 that we've actually doubled down on. It was Wiggle and Writer's Tears are the only parts of the 2 glass clubs so far.
Yeah, I think so. So.
Yeah,
I think that is true.
I don't think he missed any. But
I think it means that we just need to take a trip out there to get some more, because I think it'd be, not that you can't get it here, but I mean, I think it'd be more fun to take a trip out and actually experience it.
You go see the Penguins
down.
Oh yeah, I would love to go see the Penguins play.
It's a great time. You go see them play the Flyers. Then you have something for both of you.
Yeah, I can go get my ass kicked.
I was going to say, I don't know if I need to watch that game to know how the outcome's going to go, but
I'll meet you at the bar after.
Yeah.
I'll see you at Permantes.
Exactly. Well, I think that brings us to our next segment here, where we always do our Let's Drink About It. And I think we have a couple interesting things to talk about today.
Yes. So our producer has put together a couple of lists for us that we're going to run through. It is the words that most people that are the hardest to pronounce, and then the top 5 drinking countries per person. I think we should, while we're talking about liquor, I think we should start off with the list, the top 5 countries who drink the most, and then take it from there. I know, Ethan, you were calling your shot earlier, so if you feel you have a pretty good list together,
okay.
Let's have that.
I think I know number 1. I think it's the Czech Republic.
Interesting.
And then,
run the whole gauntlet, then we'll let you know.
Right. I think it's the Czech Republic. The Czech Republic, Germany,
Czech Republic,
Russia, the United Kingdom, and Ireland.
How'd you do?
You can't tell us the full list because we all have to guess.
Yeah,
too.
just give me a score
if you did well or not.
She's tabulating the results. They're all big drinking countries. I worry that I think some of the Asian countries might surprise us.
So the alcohol consumption by country of 2022 for the average liters per person, he got 2.
So you got 2 out of the top 5.
Okay, that's pretty
in no
good.
particular order.
No
Just
particular
2 out of.
order.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's better than I thought. All right, Chris, you want to take a crack at it?
Oh man, that means that I feel like some of them have to be a safe pick then. That we.
Good job, Ethan.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that I think that Germany's actually one of them. I'm gonna go ahead and say that Ireland would be one of them. I don't think that Russia or Czech Republic may be either, but I could be wrong.
You don't think Russia drinks?
No, I do, but I think that it might be less than you think. per
Okay.
the actual population of the country and everything. I don't know if it's as widely,
Yeah.
consumed by every single person there. I think that it's selfish to say, but I want to try and throw it out there. I'm going to say America might be on the list, but well see.
Okay.
I'd like to toss it out and see if it's true. And I think I just need to know if it is. And then I don't know the other two. What should I do for the other two? We'll try.
I don't know where you're at. You've been throwing out country names, but not in order. Oh, there goes my.
I did
I just
three.
lost my zero, Katie.
Sorry. Cat tried to get that off of the
Gotta love it,
keyboard
Kat.
there.
I need 2 more
Succeeded.
from you
I have
guys.
2 more. I know. I'm trying to think of what I want to do. I don't really know. I'm gonna go ahead and hope that some of what Ethan said was right before. I'm gonna steal some of his. We'll go with. I don't want to go with Russia. We'll go with UK.
I think
You
you guys,
think
are
Russia's a
missing, you guys
mistake?
are missing a couple of heavy hitters.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I don't know. I think Brandon's gonna have the best bet at this.
That's why one I went last on purpose.
And I'm gonna say Mexico. Last one.
Mexico. Okay. All right. All right. So is that yours in order, or is that just the 5?
No, it's just I think in general it just
Okay.
checks
So no
against.
particular order.
It
All right.
checks against all 5.
So I'm amazed. I mean, France has got to be on there. Italy's got to be on there because they start drinking younger than most other places. Russia's on there. Germany and Ireland. That should be 5.
It was.
That is 5.
Yeah, that's 5.
You each got 2.
No, the same 2.
You all got the same 2.
Damn it! All right.
So Germany's one of them.
Germany and Ireland. And then the
All right. Let's get the official list here.
Latvia
Is number 1.
Oh.
is number 1 with averaging 13.19 liters per person per year.
Wow.
Dark place.
Moldova
Dark
is number 2 at 12.85 average liters
This
per
sucks.
year per person. This Germany is number 3 with 12.79 liters average per person per year. Lithuania is 4th with 12.78
It's all Eastern
liters
Europe.
average per year per person. And then Ireland comes in at number 5 with 12.75 liters
Just
average
made
per
it.
person.
Where's America on that list?
Not even in the top 25.
Holy shit.
Not in the top 25.
The UK is up there, but the United States is pretty down there on the count.
Where's Italy?
Damn, that prohibition really set us back.
That's a good point.
Italy's not even on this.
They drink wine for breakfast.
It's Latvia, Moldova, Germany, Lithuania, Ireland. Then we got Spain, Uganda, Bulgaria, Luxembourg, which is a really small country, Romania, Andorra, Montenegro, France, Slovenia,
Okay.
Portugal, Laos,
You were only down
Tanzania,
to number 20.
Austria, Poland, the UK, Switzerland, Hungary, Slovakia, Burkina Faso, Belarus, Cook's Islands.
We're getting beat by
Belgium,
no names.
Belgium, Cyprus, Estonia, New Zealand, Finland, Russia.
All right, you're good.
All right, that's good.
We're like 7 down from there.
Wow.
Jesus.
Our
I think-
average per person is 9.97
Okay.
liters per person.
The population must affect that, you know.
No, it's liters per person.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like a
that's what I
percentage
mean.
rather than the amount of people. But it could just
Right.
be a social thing that if there's more people in your country that, like maybe if there's less people in your country. I'm sure if there's less to do in your fucking country, then you're probably drinking more. So it's a possibility.
If it makes you guys feel any better, Ireland has the most alcohol consumption in females. It's averaging 6.34 liters a year for women.
Ireland.
Ireland.
Ireland ladies get after it. Just Galway
Okay.
girls get that.
I knew an Irish girl whose grandfather used to soak her pacifier in Guinness, so she liked it when she was
Dude, you're shitting me.
little. No, I promise you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the best example of parenting I've ever heard.
Mm.
There's no book about that in Barnes and Noble.
You can't learn about this unless you know a thing or two from
Yeah.
another person that taught you a thing or two.
I'm gonna do that now.
That's funny.
Just in case my kid doesn't come out Irish, I think if you start him on Guinness from birth, they might like.
How would that
morph.
happen if you're Irish? How are they going to come out not Irish? So that would mean they're not your kid.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, like we got 2 really strong cultures. Like the Jewish culture is strong, and so is Irish. I mean, it's gonna be a battle to the death.
Have you ever heard of the Fighting Irish? It's going to come out of there
Yeah.
guns blazing.
Hey, I don't know, man. Jews.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So what was our next
I
topic?
feel like we got to be careful how we throw the J word around there. Oh my god! It's a good thing
so-
you're not more German.
So words we can't pronounce, right?
Mhm.
Cool. Let's
Next
that
segue.
quickly.
Let's
Yeah,
get out
let's
of
do
this.
that immediately,
Let's get out of this
please.
conversation. Let's segue out of here quickly.
Euro.
Oh, that's kind of a split barrel though. That's a,
All right.
That's a gyro.
He can't see it. The street pouch of like Middle Eastern food.
Why don't you
Okay.
just text them to him?
Oh, that's a good call. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
It's
Here,
Greek.
just send a
Greek,
send
yeah.
a little picture of the list.
I'll just text you word by word because you'll know what
Okay.
it is.
Because that's much more time consuming and we enjoy that.
Yeah. So how would you pronounce that?
Hero.
Okay, so we're in the ballpark. You guys are clearly Americans.
What did he say?
Hero.
Okay. The enunciation is Euro.
Okay, so it's a cross between. I went Euro. He went hero. You went gyro.
I don't think my pronunciation's going to be right on any of these
I
based
pronounce
on
it
where I grew up.
I pronounce it like HERO. Hero.
Yeah, we're supposed to hit the Y harder.
Euro. Oh, interesting.
All right, next one's coming in.
All right, you got the next word coming. I'll take it's a for me it's charcuterie.
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 He said he went charcuterie.
That's a bold choice, Ethan.
There's not a lot of charcuterie boards in coal country.
Charcuterie is the enunciation.
I just take out that,
There's no
that
the end of it.
there's only one E in it to me. Charcuterie. TRIE.
That's crazy.
You actually go outside and you collect trees and that's what you
Yeah.
put on the board.
All right. Oh, this is a tough one. All right, hang on. Wait, how's it?
Is this tough? I thought this was a
It's I guess not tough. It's
One thing.
debatable. So for me, it's gnocchi.
yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, it's gnocchi.
Gnocchi.
Ethan hit me. Huh?
Gnocchi.
Gnocchi.
It's
Gnocchi.
gnocchi.
Gnocchi. Okay.
Gnocchi, not gnocchi. Gnocchi. You have to say it as if there's a Y in there
Okay.
in the beginning.
So you got to put a silent Y in there. Apparently.
Mhm.
None of us pronounce the G though, so I think we're doing pretty good.
We're on the
That's
the
a
right
start.
track.
You're right.
Yeah, that's
So
a
this
very
one's gonna be a really good one because I feel like there's so many ways to say this,
All right.
but
This isn't
the
very well for us.
enunciation
Yeah.
has both.
Okay.
Okay,
Let
ready?
me see. Okay.
There is one right way to say this.
Yeah. For me, it's GIF.
It's GIF, yes. Don't be the one, Ethan. Don't be the one. I can tell by your lack of answering that you're going to be the one.
you
Don't
know
be
what
that
I'm gonna
guy.
say, and I'm gonna say
It's
it's
not
Jif.
peanut butter.
Yeah, I know. I'm not
He's
gonna
disappointed in himself.
I'm not gonna lie for the camera. I'm telling you what I think it is.
God. And
So
just
far,
to be
Ethan's
clear, you're
striking
thinking
out.
GIF.
Yes.
No.
100% Jif.
Okay. This is your last chance at redemption here. I'm going to have you start. Oh, buddy. That's not even. I can't even spell that.
I couldn't
Wait.
spell it off the top of my head.
Okay.
I'll give you one guess at what it is before you even get the text.
Just
Oh,
let it out.
Worcestershire.
That's what I was hoping for. Worcestershire.
Oh my god.
I call it, for me, it's Worcestershire.
I don't even say it right. I actually intentionally say it wrong every single time. I'm usually like Worcestershire sauce.
There's a
Just
good
so
Guy
it's- just
Fieri
so
bit
it's,
about that. He
wrong.
calls it wash your sister sauce.
Yeah. I would say Worcestershire sauce. It's that's
Worcestershire. That
Worcestershire.
sounds very Delco,
Worcestershire.
actually.
It does sound very Delco.
Yeah.
The enunciation is Worcestershire.
Worcestershire?
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire. Okay.
So I say it pretty close.
Yeah, Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
Dude, the English language sucks. Why would you spell it that way?
Why would you even call something like that so complicated anyway? Like,
That's
why couldn't
terrible
they just
marketing.
Cut it down halfway or something.
Brown sauce.
It's definitely somebody's name,
Brown
like their
sauce.
last name or something.
No, right? Like you were in the UK for like 2 years. They call things what it is. If
Yeah,
if
no.
they're soggy peas, they say, "Oh, you have some mushy peas." Like have that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
no,
there
it's-
is. Like, isn't there a brown sauce over there?
There is such a thing as brown sauce, yes.
Like
And
they
it's
don't.
not
They just
it's
cover-
not the same thing, but there is brown sauce.
John Oliver did a bit about that. I believe, and I could be mistaken. I think it's called like something named brown sauce, like John's brown sauce, or like something weird like that.
Well, depending on where you are, ketchup is red sauce.
Oh man, I don't know.
Where else? Where is that the case?
Where I was in Northwest England, and I think a lot of people in Northern Ireland call it red sauce too. I don't know about the Republic.
Oh, dude. I undersold brown sauce. The leading brown sauce distributor in the UK.
Yeah.
Daddy's brown sauce. I wish I could be making that up. You can't really. It's probably too bright to see. But
Oh no, I can see it. I can see it. It focused in right there. That's great.
Daddy's brown sauce. Shout out to the UK. Bunch of redcoats.
You guys are canceled.
Canceled? No.
By what? Our 12 listeners?
Yeah. We have to be talking about something much more controversial than that.
True.
Maybe we'll get there one day. We'll see.
Not with whiskey mixed in, but
Yeah.
we have actually overshot our half hour, which is the mark of a great episode. So we're going to sign it off here for another couple weeks. Ethan, man, thank you for popping on. I hope we didn't get you in too much trouble with the Pennsylvania Bar Association.
No, you guys are the least of my worries. Don't worry.
Don't worry, we'll keep that quiet. But all right, till next time. This has been the Whiskey Gingers podcast. Check back in another 2 weeks. See you.